Theodore Roosevelt once said that comparison is the thief of joy. And while he may be right in some ways, I also argue that he may be wrong. So stay tuned to this video if you want to see where I think that Teddy Roosevelt may be only partially right. Alright guys, so hi, how are you? It's so good to see you today. I am filming this video on April 26th, 2021 to give you time perspective depending on when you're seeing this video. I just got done packaging up my weekend sales and I wanted to share this video with you because I had the crappiest weekend, the worst weekend, the most horrible weekend I think I've ever had in at least a year. Really, honestly, like the weekend I digress. Now, normally this is not something that we talk about as much, or like if you slide over onto Instagram and you're, scrolling through fellow resellers, they're gonna say things like, oh, it was a bad weekend, but I'm grateful for every sale, which I am. I am grateful, so don't get it twisted. I'm always grateful for any sale, no matter how big or small. I'm always happy to sell things and move things out the door. That's not what this video is about. But people get really cheesed off sometimes. I guess maybe triggered is the word. But they get really upset when they see package stacks. So they go onto Instagram, they're scrolling through. Monday is usually the day that you see them, is packages. Pictures of pretty packages, someone is, ranting and raving about their success or lack thereof, because you see it both ways. And they're talking about their weekend, and you got people who come on and they're like, you don't know what their cost of goods is. You don't know what their bottom line is or how much money they made. Actually, I could have sold 2 items and made more than that package, made them their entire weekend. Ugliness. Why would you say that? Because here's the thing, like, comparison is the thief of joy. So we need to be happy for each other as a reselling community. And I'm not getting on here to preach, but this is just kind of coming off the cuff and I want to say it. So if somebody is successful, that's great. That is awesome. And people have very different levels of success. Their barometers for success are very different. Some people are thrilled to make $20 or $30 in profit on a weekend. And some people are thrilled to make 10 grand. It really, but you can't compare the two because they're two different people living with two different circumstances. So when somebody posts a package stack of 30 packages and is super thrilled, but maybe they only made $200 profit on those 30 packages, that's still success for them. They worked their tail off and they're just sharing their success. And you should be happy for them. Like 100% always, I am always here to cheerlead on a fellow reseller, a fellow entrepreneur. Even if you're making more money than me, even if you're doing better than me, I'm not going to become the green-eyed monster and be fueled by jealousy to say, well, you really don't know. They're just putting on that they're successful. Well, to them, they are. That's success to them. And to have a little secret for you, perception is reality. So whatever I view and perceive as successful is my reality. And no one gets to dictate that. And no one gets to dictate that for you either. So before you get all, upset when you see package stacks, because maybe your package stack isn't as impressive as Susie Cheesecake Reseller's package stack. Susie Cheesecake is my fictitious character that I've used for years and years. If you ask any of my previous employees, whenever I had to coach them on employee interaction or sales interaction, Susie Cheesecake was always my associate who caused problems or did really well, because I never wanted to say, well, Sarah, and make up a story about Sarah. And then if I have a Sarah working for me, it could get twisted that it's, I'm talking about that Sarah when I'm actually talking about someone made up completely. So I always just said Susie Cheesecake because it eliminated that I never hired anybody named Susie Cheesecake. I got into trouble on Instagram using the same fictitious person, which that post is still live. You can go see if you can find it. Follow me. I'll put it here. This is a good segue. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see how I got in trouble with my fictitious reseller, Susie Cheesecake. So Susie Cheesecake might sell 50 packages and you might have sold 2. And you're mad and you're comparing yourself to Susie Cheesecake. And then why is Susie Cheesecake selling 30 packages and I couldn't get even an offer this weekend? I was sending low offers on things that I never, I was selling things or trying to sell things for way less than I wanted to originally take. It happens. It happens. So the reason why I wanted to come on here and do this with you, I'm going to do a little haul. A little what sold in this video. So I'm going to share with you what I sold this weekend, but I'm going to also share a little backstory. So I personally sold 4 items this weekend. 4. 1 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. 4. Now to some people that sounds like a dream come true, right? Like 4 items, that's great, awesome, and I'm grateful. I'm truly grateful, but I was selling 15 to 20. So we'll talk about why I feel like there's been some variation in that. Like we'll talk about what I've been doing. I think that competition, healthy, friendly competition and comparison are essential to being better. I think if we don't have a standard or a bar that we're setting for ourselves and comparing ourselves to, then we're never going to grow. If we make excuses for ourselves, whereas I could for this weekend, well, I tried, I listed, I did some, I sent offers every day, I ran sales, I was active on the platform, I did my sharing, yay, okay, right, yeah, I did do those things. But why did I only have 4 sales? We'll get into that. But if I don't take a look at what's going on around me with my peers, my competition, then I can't see where the bar needs to be set. So hopefully that makes sense, because I didn't take notes and this could get a little ranty and a little rambly, and it's not meant to be a bad thing. This is meant to be inspiring and helpful. So the 4 items I sold, let's do that first, because some people are just interested in the what sold portion. So here's what sold. I sold this little boy button-up shirt from the brand Dickies, and it was this red and white plaid button-up shirt, snapped up the front. It had a little collar, it was short sleeved, and on the back it had a graphic of a motorcycle. I got that from my sister-in-law. She had gave it to me for me to put on my son. It had belonged to her son, and I loved the shirt. It's so stinking cute. But the problem is shirts like that require maintenance. Like, they have to be ironed or they just look like your kid slept in it. I mean, because it's 100% cotton. And to me, that I'm not that like put together as a mom. Like, I'll be the first to raise my hand and say, like, we are legging t-shirts or shorts and t-shirts, sweatpants and t-shirts kind of people, like, all the way. I have 5 kids. I don't have time to be ironing clothes. I only iron for formal events. So I put this shirt online. It sold for $15, which means I made a $12 profit. And since I didn't pay any money for it, I get the full $12, which I'm actually going to give to her because it was her shirt. She bought it. I did not. But she'll probably like make me keep the money, but I'll make her take it. So the second thing I sold was this Lila P or Lila P. I think it's Lila P Pima cotton tank top, and it was this beautiful peach color, and I only paid $1 for it at the thrift, and I bought it because it was the Pima cotton. It was a really nice, like a nicely made tank top, a decent brand. I'm not really familiar with where it comes from, but it had decent comps on other items. But tank tops just don't retail for much. But I like to keep them, especially with us going into warmer weather, summer. I've been sourcing for more tank tops and shorts because I want to be able to have things to offer people that are seasonally appropriate. The customer sent me a $10 offer. I countered at 15. She countered at 11. I mean, we went back and forth. Eventually she countered for 13, which I just accepted because honestly, it had been like, it was Sunday afternoon and I hadn't sold anything. So this is on Poshmark, by the way. Dickies shirt was also on Poshmark. But sold for $13. I ended up making a profit of $9.05 after my $1 cost of goods. Then on Poshmark, I sold these Nike cropped legging pant things. Okay, so I've been reselling for 1.5 years, and my very first reselling, like thrifting, sourcing trip, I spent $200, and I spent $2.50 for these severely outdated Nike leggings. There was nothing wrong with them. There was no holes, no stains. They were in perfect condition, but they are so outdated. For one, they're cropped, which people are still buying cropped leggings, but not as much. Secondly, they're wide leg leggings. They're the gaucho pant style leggings. Who's buying those? Like, nobody was buying them last year. Nobody is buying them this year. So I've had them forever. So I had them listed in my closet for $6 because I was literally just like, please, anybody, take these leggings, take them home, get them out of my house. Like, they were a heartbeat away from going in a ThredUp box or just back to the thrift. But I had them cross-posted, and I was like, you might as well just try to sell them for $6, try to get some money out of them. I sent a $5 offer with discounted shipping, and this customer accepted. Bless her heart. Thank you very much for taking these leggings off my hands. I made 55 cents on this sale, which means I am negative $1.95 because I paid $2.50 for these at the thrift. Ugh, I hate losing money. I don't mind making a 55-cent profit. I hate losing money. That's actually the most money I have lost on an item in a sale yet, because it's like literally my worst fear is to lose money on a product. Like, I don't want to lose money. I'm okay with making barely anything. At least I didn't lose money, right? So I was negative $1.95 in these leggings. And my last piece that sold was actually a dress that was mine. And it was this floral sleeveless dress that I actually got years ago. I've had this dress forever. And I think I bought it to wear underneath my graduation gown. Y'all, I am going to be 36. I graduated a long time ago. That shows you how long I've had this little dress. But it was a very classic style. It was in perfect condition. I have fond memories of that dress because I wore it to New York City to see my first Broadway show with my husband. And, you know, I mean, I love this dress. But honestly, I will never fit into that dress ever again. Like, ever again. Never. I've had too many babies. My body is... we too womanly now. My little size 3 body from back then is no more. Like, it doesn't exist. So I sold this dress on Facebook Marketplace for $6, which means I made a profit of $5.47. So that brings my grand total to $24.57. And when I take the $12 out to give back to my sister-in-law for the shirt that she gave me, I will have made $12.57 for an entire weekend. Wow. Wow. Ooh. Ouch. It stings. It stings so bad. Okay, so... comparison is the thief of joy. Now, here is where I am disagreeing with Mr. Teddy Roosevelt. So, I already kind of touched on it. Like, there has to be a level of healthy comparison. So, one thing I didn't understand in the beginning, I listened to this podcast called Flip the Script. Flip the Script. I can speak English, I swear. Flip the Script is done by a reseller named Denali, and Denali is El Ducho on YouTube and on Instagram, and her closet, I believe, is El Ducho. I'll have her linked below. I'll have her podcast linked below. I love her podcast. It's actually one of the first reselling podcasts I ever listened to, and what I really like about it is she interviews resellers. So she interviews them. She asks them all the same set of questions. I think it's 5 or 6 questions. She asks them all the same set of questions, and every single episode is different. There are some similarities, but they're all different because everybody is reselling for different reasons. I got into reselling for a completely different reason that you got into reselling or are maybe thinking about getting into reselling. We're all on a different walk of life. We all live in different circumstances. I live in a teeny tiny town. I don't find name brand close. I could travel. I'm close to big cities. I could travel to bigger cities and maybe have better inventory. But for right now, with having 5 children, I can't just take off and drive 2 hours. My 4 packages are falling over. I can't take off and drive 2 hours to a city. I could even drive for 3.5 and get to New York City if I really wanted to. Like, the possibilities for me are endless. I'm really well located centrally. I'm in South Central Pennsylvania. So I'm really like located where I could go. Baltimore, DC, New York, Pittsburgh, Philly. There are so many big cities around me that I could drive to. But the issue is I have these 5 kids, and they're all, school age. 2 are in preschool. Everybody else is in public school. They all are very active in dance. My husband owns his own business. I do the bookkeeping and paperwork for that for him. I have a home. We own a home in the country. It has a bit of property, not a lot, but about 4 acres. I have animals. I have a whole life where I am needed here. And that's why I started reselling, because it's something I can do from home on my time and my hours and not have to be outside the home, so I can be available to my children and to Brett, my husband, if he needs me, or my dogs, because they're my fur babies. I love them. But my circumstance is different. There are resellers out there who are killing it, who don't have a bunch of small children still, pulling on the hems of their shirt because they can't get their own food, or they can't be left alone, or, I just got everybody out of diapers a couple months ago. Like, that's just where I am in life. I'm not alone. There's tons of resellers who are out there who are in a very similar situation. So what I like about her podcast, I can bring it back around, right? Okay, so what I like about her podcast is that, she asks these questions to all these different resellers from all walks of life, and you get to really get a good idea of like what people are doing and what makes them successful, and what are their day-to-day habits, and what are mistakes they've made, and you can really learn a lot. So definitely check the podcast out. But the point of bringing up the podcast, other than it's a great learning resource for you, is that she always asks the question of what would you go back and tell your former self when you first started reselling? Like, if you could go back in time and tell them anything, like go back to when you first started reselling and tell yourself anything, what would it be? And so often the answer is not to compare yourself to others. That's what they say, like a lot. The comparison thing gets brought up nearly every episode. Like, I would say 75-80% of the time. Because it's so easy to do, especially with social media, for us to get online, see what's going on, and compare ourselves to others and go, man, Susie Cheesecake just kills it every week, and I don't understand because I'm listing more than she is, and I'm outsourcing, and I share my closet 4 times more a day than she does, and I don't understand why I'm not, instead of taking a step back, holding yourself accountable, looking inward and going, okay, so this is what Susie Cheesecake does. This is how I compare to Susie Cheesecake. I'm getting a dry throat. I've been talking too much. That's what happens. I'm on my soapbox. Don't pull me down yet. So by comparing what you do to what Susie does and seeing what maybe differences in her behaviors that she has over you, and holding yourself accountable. So I have a friend, a PFF, Posh Friend Forever, right? I belong to a group with 3 other ladies, and we help each other, and they're amazing. I met them all on Facebook in a Poshmark group. From this little group, and one of them popped on. Her name is Wendy. I might link her closet below so you can go check it out if you want to. But I want to get her permission before I do that. So her name's Wendy, and she popped on and she said, I have had my best reselling weekend yet. She's only been doing it for a year. Girlfriend's better than me, makes more money than me, sources better inventory than I do. That's just her circumstance. Her circumstances line up, and her business is better than mine. And that's okay. Her business, well, I want to say better than mine. Her business makes more money than mine does. Cool. That's awesome because I can learn from her because she's making more money, which ultimately that's what we all want to do, right? She sold 22 items, which to a lot of people, even the bigger ones, bigger resellers, not a big deal. 22 items, so what? To her, that is a big freaking deal. To me, that is a big freaking deal. The most I've ever sold in a weekend, I think, is 21. She had her best weekend. Meanwhile, I'm over here with my 4 packages. And I'm like, oh, right? Like, oh, why? Like, why is she doing so well? But I'm genuinely happy for her because she might watch this video. I'm genuinely happy for you, Wendy, just like I said in the chat. Like, but I'm like, why is my sales down? Why am I not doing well? What is Wendy doing that I'm not doing? Now she does have some better inventory. She gets a higher average sale price than I do, which makes a difference. It does. That's just math. But here's the things that I haven't been doing to hold myself accountable, right? And this is, or to make sure that my business is doing as well as it possibly can. I have to take a step back and go, okay, what did I do to not set my business up for success this past week? Why did my business not thrive? Where did I drop the ball? Because there are going to be things that are out of your control. The economy is going to fluctuate. Seasons change. People go on vacation. Summers are typically slower in the retail reselling world because people are vacationing. They're doing things. And I think this year we're going to feel that a lot more than we did last year because this year a lot less people are going to be quarantining and sheltering in place. People are going to be out going on vacation because last year they couldn't. So I think we're going to see a huge summer slowdown this year. So just mentally prepare yourself for it now. You might slow down a little bit this summer. But here's the thing. I found this quote and I want to share it with you. Take accountability. Blame is the water in which many dreams and relationships drown. So here's what I did. I took a step back and did some looking inward, like I said, some self-reflecting, and how did I fail to set my business up for success this week? Well, I did not list a lot. I listed maybe 25, 30 new items over the course of the entire week. Now, when I list on Poshmark, I import it into Vendoo, and then I cross-post onto all the available platforms that Vendoo offers, and there are 9. Vendoo is a whole other thing, but it's a cross-posting, cross-listing service. So every time I list something, it automatically, I will turn around and cross-post it to all the applicable platforms that it could possibly go on. So if it's not vintage or self-made, it can't go on Etsy, or Grailed is for men only, or Tradesy tends to be like higher end things that are a little more expensive. So not everything can go on every single platform, but my point is whenever I list an item, I cast out as many lines as I possibly can to all the different platforms. So as many people in the world can see my item as humanly possible. So I did not put a lot of new inventory out into the world, right? I caught up on my death pile. I thrifted a lot because I actually was out of inventory. I had finally gotten through my death pile. Yay! And I photographed it all. I literally had nothing else to photograph to get ready to list. I was doing well. So I said, I'm going to spend more time thrifting because I need inventory. Well, I didn't spend enough time listing. I also have been really bad this entire month at delisting and relisting my items. It is truly becoming the key to success. Like, you can go and check out different things that'll explain to you how, relisting and delisting is really a huge key to success. Everyone says list. That's like consistency, and listing is going to make the algorithm happy. It's going to drive people to your closet or your store, and it's going to make people shop. That is all very true, but listing and delisting essentially does the same thing. So if you're listing and you're delisting items, it's taking something out of your closet, but it comes back in as a new item. So it tricks the algorithm into thinking you're posting new, and it shows more items in the just in category or the newly listed category, which tends to drive more traffic to your store or closet because people are shopping for what's new. It comes up higher in the search engine. Like, I mean, there's so many things, right? I haven't been doing that. February and March were amazing for me. And you know why? It was because I was listing and delisting at least 20 items every single day using Vendoo. Now you can do this manually. You don't have to use Vendoo. I use Vendoo. But I haven't been doing that for the entire month of April. And my sales have steadily just bad, right? Just not good. Not good. And there are people around me, like my friend Wendy, having amazing results, amazing sales results. My closet isn't filled with garbage. I might not have designer, but it's not garbage. So what's the problem? Well, I'm not working. Like, that's the problem. I haven't been working. I haven't been doing the due diligence. I haven't been accountable to my business. I haven't been consistent. And, but by comparing myself to others and seeing what's going on around me and pulse checking the community, I'm able to look inward and go, okay, where am I going wrong? You can compare yourself, but you got to be healthy about the way you compare yourself. Now, you can't walk into a room with a reseller who's been doing it for 15 years, has 30 employees, a huge warehouse, is consistently listing hundreds of items a day. Like, you can't take your small one-man operation and compare it to a 40 man operation. You just can't do that, right? But you can take a look at people who are around you and say, okay, you're similar to me. We're not the same, but we're similar. Where am I not performing? Why am I not having results? And the answer is usually something you can control, which for me, it's the listing and the relisting. Like, it always comes down to that. Honestly, you could look at your business and go, why am I not making money? Well, did you list? Did you delete and relist? Are you cross-posting? Are you sharing? Are you, doing these things? Are you getting rid of stale inventory, putting new stuff up, whatever it is you want to call it? That whole listing thing, that's where it is. So I hope that you found this video to be helpful. It was Steve Maraboli who said, take accountability. Blame is the water in which many dreams and relationships drown. And that's very true because even you can't take accountability for yourself, then you're going to see ill effects across the board. You know this. We all know this. It's no different than your business. And you can't compare yourself and get down and get jealous. That's not helping you. It's not helping your community. It's bringing bad energy into your life. What you put out, you get back. So if you're putting negative energy out there because you're getting triggered by package stacks, bad comparison. If you're looking at package stacks and that makes you go, okay, I need to contact this person. I want to learn from them. I want to see what they're doing in their business. How are they moving so much inventory? I don't need to know the money. That's personal. Maybe they don't want to talk money with you, but if you could talk to them, maybe they can mentor you a little bit, answer some questions for you. You can use that information to look inward and go, where am I dropping the ball in my business? Because it's usually something you can control. Usually. So I hope that you found this video to be inspiring, and I hope that I made sense and didn't talk around in circles too much. Hopefully you will subscribe to to my channel. It's new, so I would appreciate the love and the support. If you could hit that like button, that also helps because that boosts me up and shows YouTube that I've made a good video. Think of it liking a video, which is free, but think of it like leaving a tip. When you like a video, you've left me a tip. We tip our drivers, we tip our waitresses and our waiters and waitresses, we tip our nail lady or our hair lady, we tip the housekeeper, whoever it is you're tipping. think of a like button, like leaving a tip whenever you watch a video that you like. So I appreciate you all. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I hope that I can come back next Monday with a much bigger package stack. Oh, Lord willing. Oh my gosh, I got on the internet, held myself accountable, embarrassed myself, and ranted and raved all in one video. So I'm glad you survived it. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.